Greetings, boys and girls. It is now time for Reader's Workshop. We're having fun learning reading today. Reading today is fun. We learn from our success. We learn from everyone. We're having fun learning reading today. Reading today is fun. We learn from our success. We learn from everyone. We're learning to think. Think today. Thinking today is fun. Thinking helps us solve problems. Solving problems helps everyone. We're learning to think. Think today. Thinking today is fun. Thinking helps us solve problems. Solving problems helps everyone. Can you read our learning target with me? I can identify what an author wants to explain or describe. Great job, boys and girls. Let's look at a few vocabulary words before we begin our lesson today. Our first vocabulary word is fact. Remember, boys and girls, a fact is something that is true. It comes from real information and it can be proven. So if you say it is a sunny day, you can look outside and prove that it's a sunny day. An opinion is something that you think or feel, and it is not true for everyone. Our next vocabulary words are informational texts. Those are books and passages that give facts about different topics, such as sports, animals, science, and space. Now let's look at why an author writes a text. The first reason an author writes a text is to answer questions. An author writes informational texts to answer questions. Questions like, why do dogs bark? Or, how do ducks swim? An author also writes to describe things. An author writes informational text to describe people, places, events, or things. For example, remember when we read the book about Jackie Robinson and Wilma Rudolph? That is when an author writes to describe something or someone. Explain. An author writes informational text to explain how to do things or to explain how things happen. For example, how does a butterfly form? Or explaining a recipe. Or explaining how to do an experiment. Now let's look at our passage for today. Remember, boys and girls, when you have a reading passage followed by questions, read the questions first, then read the passage, so you'll have a purpose for reading. Answer choice A says, to explain how birds keep their eggs safe. Answer choice B says, to answer how birds keep their eggs safe. And C says, to describe how birds keep their eggs safe. So boys and girls, we know that this passage is going to be about birds keeping their eggs safe. So is it to explain, to answer, or to describe? Let's read and find out. Can you help me read? Here we go. How do birds keep their eggs and baby birds safe? Most birds build nests, but all nests are not alike. Different kinds of birds build different kinds of nests. One thing that is the same is that all birds build their nests to keep their eggs and babies safe. Now let's look at our answer choices again. Answer choice A says, to explain how birds keep their eggs safe. Well, we did learn how birds keep their eggs safe we learned that they keep their eggs safe by building a nest. And not all the nests are alike. Remember, boys and girls, if we see an answer choice that may be our answer, we leave it alone and read the other answer choices first. Let's look at answer choice B. It says to answer how birds keep their eggs safe. Remember, you answer a question. So let's look at the passage and see if we can find a question at the beginning of the passage. Look at the first sentence. How do birds keep their eggs and babies safe? And here's the question mark. Boys and girls, the author then gives us the answer to this question. So it looks like B is the best answer choice so far. But let's wait and read answer choice C. Then we'll slash the trash and pick the best answer last. C says to describe how birds keep their eggs safe. Well, it did kind of describe how birds keep their eggs safe with the different nests that they build. But what is the best answer, boys and girls? Is it A, to explain how birds keep their eggs safe? That's a good answer, but it's not the best answer. So let's slash the trash. Is it B, to answer how birds keep their eggs safe? Well, the first sentence is a question, and what follows is the answer. So B still seems like the best answer choice, so let's leave that alone. Answer choice C, to describe how birds keep their eggs safe. That's a good answer, but is it the best answer? No, it's not. So let's slash C and circle the best answer choice last, and that's B, to answer how birds keep their eggs safe. Remember, boys and girls, to explain means to tell maybe how something looks. To describe gives us steps like in a recipe or tells us how to do something. So to answer is the best answer choice because the first sentence was a question. Now, boys and girls, it's time for you to try a passage on your own. Remember, read the answer choices first, so you'll have a purpose for reading. Then read the passage. Then go back to the answer choices, slash the trash, and pick the best answer last. When you're finished, unpause the video and let's see if you were right. Have fun! Welcome back, boys and girls. Let's look at the answer choices first. To explain how water gets into the ocean, to answer how water gets into the ocean, or to describe how water gets into the ocean. Let's look at the passage together. Can you read it with me one more time? Here we go. The next time it rains, watch the water run down your street. First, it goes down a drain or into a ditch. Next, it joins with water flowing from other drains and ditches. Then, it flows into a stream or river. Finally, the water that ran down your street flows into the ocean. Oh, what great information to learn about the flow of water when it rains and how it gets back into the ocean from your street. Now let's look at answer choice A again, to explain how water gets into the ocean. Well, we did find out how water gets from your street and the rain back into the ocean. So let's leave answer choice A alone. Answer choice B says to answer how water gets into the ocean. Boys and girls, did you see a question at the beginning of this passage? No, I don't see any question marks. The beginning of the passage does not ask any questions, so there are no answers here. So we can go ahead and slash the trash for B. Answer choice C says to describe how water gets into the ocean. Well, we did find out how water gets into the ocean. But remember, explain means to tell or give steps in an order, like first, next, then, or last. To describe means to tell how something looks with adjectives like beautiful, pretty, brown, tall, small. So would the best answer be to explain how water gets into the ocean or to describe how water gets into the ocean? I do remember seeing the words first, next, then, and finally. Boys and girls, are these describing words or explaining the steps words? That's right, they're explaining. So slash C, and your best answer choice should have been A. Was that your answer? Great job, boys and girls. If not, you'll have more practice later on and tomorrow. Let's review what we've learned today. Remember, an author writes for 3 main reasons: to answer, to describe, or explain. We can think about delicious lemonade when we think about an author's purpose for writing. Look at the last 3 letters of lemonade, A-D-E. That will help us to remember what an author's purpose for writing a passage is. A, the author is answering a question. Remember, look for a question mark at the beginning of the passage. D means the author is describing something. Remember, look for adjectives when an author describes. An author also writes to explain something. Remember, explaining means to give the steps and use transition words like first, next, or last. Now, boys and girls, it's time for you to read some of your Just Right books for at least 20 minutes. Then write about your book using one of your book response forms. Log into HeadSprout or Freckle afterwards. I've also added another link where you can practice identifying why an author writes a passage. The link is found on Mrs. Hefner's blog, which I have emailed or texted your parents. Have fun reading!